Hello and welcome everybody to Freewheel Station. We kind of get the opening credits where we get like the drage system, we get the three planets and their various moons, and we kind of like camera sweeps over and we see, the Freewheel Station itself, with the, backlit by the the system star. And we see that it's, this big ring in like floating there. It looks like it still needs a bit of work here and there, but there are ships coming and going. There's a few ships like just kind of hanging out, and nearby. The camera sort of pans underneath, and as we're kind of like panning underneath, we see like where the wrench is welded into a corner, holding it together. And we come out on the other side, and we get the big title card. Um, and we kind of fade out of that and then fade into the scene where we left off last time with Philip Dupfo, Kib, and Death Arms on, like in this, big garage type room. There's a broken down hover truck that's just kind of sitting there. There's a, motorcycle. There's two dead individuals laying there. There's two dead people laying there on the ground nearby. There's two guys that are unconscious and wearing restraints. Um, and are sort of restrained at this point. And we kind of come back in and Kib, Philip, why don't we get a refresher, sort of like a reminder of what your characters look like and what your characters are actually doing as we come back in, because we left off with you guys talking about the hover truck.
Hi, I'm Philip. I am an 8-foot-tall Elabrian, which is a race that comes from Eox. It's incredibly rare. Most of Eox are these things called Barai, which are kind of like sentient undead. They're pretty cool. But I wanted to play one of these, and I made her extra huge on accident. I'm bald, and I have great big eyes that are glowing red right now with vapor trails. And I have he's about 17 inches long. And it's a little droid, drone named Ha. And he's about 20 foot above me. Kid, what do you look like?
I'm a little rat dude. Random fur pieces all flustered and whatnot, but still trying to be all together. He's in his normal engineering type smarty clothes that has like little compartments on the belt for like different tools and whatever to fix things. And yeah, got straight hairs that are kind of like weird, not fully patched in, but he's kind of like, yeah, I got this. We're all good. So
he looks a little unkempt.
Yeah, but he currently has a bow tie too around his neck that is just in perfect position where it should be, and trying to be all proper.
Right on. So you guys are looking at this truck. You had just found that cache of stuff in there. Like you are muted. Yep.
Yeah, Kib had just received a secret message I don't know about, and while that was going on, I had already dug into the engine compartment and was trying to work on it. And Kib had just come over and was like, well, I'm going to look for parts inside the cab. And then I assume that Death Arms has our two unconscious guys over in the corner tied up properly and is guarding them with his life. Alright, maybe not his life. But like a good soldier. There we go. Bounty hunter.
So are like...
So, Kib, I think you need to make a search check to see if you can find something in the cabin.
I would actually, It's actually in the mechanical parts of the vehicle, and I would
Oh,
accept an engineering check or a perception check, whichever is better for you in this instance, Kib.
fine. I'll go see if the motorcycle's running if you want this so hard. And I throw down my wrench on the ground and I walk off.
Well, first
Hey,
thing you
I picked the wrench up and be like, be nice to the tools and set it on the engine compartment area and then continue looking.
all right, so first thing you like looking at this, like just from like what Hurlig said, about like the anti-grav transfer, whatever, transfer junction, like that's the first place you look, you know exactly where to look. And you also recognize that there is a booby trap on. You recognize a couple other things. First of all, this thing's never going to run again. Like too many of the parts are too degraded. It's just not going to. Too many of like they're like really the frame isn't even going to. The frame looks like it's sturdier than it is, but you just from an engineering standpoint, you're crawling up in it and stuff. You can kind of look and see where like it's been here for a while. But you do find something else, you find that there is a booby trap here. This thing is set to blow, and and you recognize it as Gormy's handiwork because you've seen like was one of the things they'd had her do was make explosives. Um, and you're easily able to disassemble it, but you do find a you do find like a little hollow projector device with a data chip that slots into it.
Okay, I'm gonna take the projector thing and kind of pocket it a little bit and
Mhm.
continue like looking at the thing to see if it can be fixed. Kind of then pop my head out and be like, yeah, where'd you go? I don't think this truck is drivable, but I mean, I can try. The frame's kind of jacked.
I'm just worried about you. If you saw something ridiculous,
I think
you're afraid
I don't know if
it come back.
I might be able to bypass this little trap. I don't want to blow up.
Oh,
It's an option.
there you go. I'm like, if that's what you want to do, and I get on the other side of the motorcycle and duck.
Here's the thing, Philip, this seems to be something of a dead end. I mean, you found a little bit of loot that's worth a bit that, small amounts of loot that's worth a decent chunk of money to begin, just to be fair, but it's hardly the large, cargo stash that you were hoping the red booters might have had had it here. And there was a lot of yelling about Captain Hurl. There was a lot of yelling about Commander Hurlig, or at least a lot of yelling about Kib and some sort of, knowledge he's supposed to have. Something about a list or something had been
Mm.
hollered back and forth. It was kind of like you were in the middle of the battle, so there really wasn't a whole lot of time to consider a lot of this. But you know, what I mean, you were at least partially aware that the bounty hunters were after Kib for some information he was supposed to have had. Um, because you knew that from death arms.
Mm.
Um, but like the bounty hunters also seem to have an interest in death arms. They mentioned something about like the guild wants him as well as that pirate captain. So
Well,
Drovovok.
should I? Let's see. What check is that, sir? Recalling knowledge? That'd be culture.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Okay.
What are you specifically trying to recall?
Guild knowledge of
Knowledge
bounty
about
hunters.
so as far as it goes, you're an Librian and you are capable of seeing complex patterns within the web with that huge Librian brain. You would say that it makes sense as far as it goes, because it would make a lot of sense that that you kind of were bullshitting a little bit, leveraging like the guild's reluctance to step on sovereign territory, because you weren't sure if they'd even recognize you as sovereign territory at the time. You're guessing with the fact that these people yelling about wanting him, like one, you knew that Drvovok would be after him. He tried to kill him. When
Hmm.
he went back and said Kib was innocent of betraying his former commander, you know, and Death Arms barely made it back alive. Furthermore, it makes entire sense to you that the guild would have excommunicated if they had decided not to see you as sovereign territory. If there was enough money behind the bounty on Kib, they probably wouldn't necessarily have as big of a problem dumping somebody they thought had betrayed their contract, or somebody that they thought had invalidated their
Hmm.
contract, in the way that Drvovok probably presented it. So it seems to you like Drvovok probably presented a lot of money and said, "Look, this guy broke his contract. I still want this guy. Send whoever you've got, and if you can bring me him too, that'd be great." And the guild probably wants him just for breaking his contract. So that much is a mystery solved in and of itself. The guild probably doesn't see you as sovereign territory, given their reaction to him. Like you're just making this web of pattern of like in your brain, you're like, huh,
Right, and I have a few minutes to do that because I'm working on this motorcycle.
yeah, yeah.
And
Well, the motorcycle runs. You don't have to do much to get it running. It's already
right, I
running. It just needs a
hotwire it,
little
and I'm like,
gas.
oh, look at that, it
Yeah,
starts.
yeah. It just needs a little
Okay,
gas. You can probably
well,
find some around here.
after hearing Kib say that the truck is mostly a total loss, though, I don't know. You said most of it's bad, so I know. But anyway, so I was like, well, at least we have this. And so all of this is floating through my head. And I walk back over and I'm like, so, did you find whatever was left for you?
I'm not 100% sure. I found a hollow projector thingy, so I don't know exactly what that entails.
So, are you ever going to come clean about this? I mean, you don't have Kurad to protect you about it so much anymore, since he's always busy, and he's definitely not here for this. And I didn't actually hear whatever hollow thingy you're talking about, but it makes no sense that you would, try to get me not to help. Or be okay with me doing grunt work that you would have looked at and been like, oh, well, that's useless. I don't know why you're trying. And then you said it was booby trapped, so that makes it even weirder because, I mean, I can see them booby trapping their stuff, whoever's warehouse this was, the Red Booters warehouse, but I don't know. Something's up in the air. Not only that, but
Okay.
hang on.
First of all, let's start here.
Okay.
This is not a Red Booter thing.
Oh, I thought that was the whole reason we came here was because it was another Red Booter stash.
That was my attempt to get you to bring me here.
You could have just asked.
Yeah, maybe. You got to remember, I spent how many years with pirates? So some of those traits from pirate people, I've gotten off of them, right? So
Did you read that somewhere?
I might have a small little,
Maybe I heard it.
I don't know. But we got to here. We found some information. Gloomy's somewhere. I want to know where she's at. She was awesome. Technically, that's her device that she put on there. I saw her signature on that device, on that trap. She's great at that. She'd
And
always.
remind me who this person is, because I had never heard of them until they were screaming at you in battle, and it made you very angry.
So Gormy was related to you. Most of these distant relations you simply call cousin, but technically she was your, let's see, she was related to your mother's grandmother's uncle's thrice removed bastard daughter, or something like that. Like you were the only two Yusukai on Hurlig's crew for a while.
Well, she's a distant cousin. I'll call her cousin. And we were the only two guys on the station at the time working, so we worked together. She liked
Interesting.
explosives.
This is the first time you brought up the fact that there was someone related to the station.
I'm not. Listen, I worked under pirates for 2 or 3 years. I've learned not to divulge a lot of information right away.
They need to warn you, by the way. You need to be a little bit.
I mean, I don't know. I know you have your off thing with your dad, but
No, Granddad.
do you talk?
Mom and Dad haven't talked to me since. Granddad's the one that was like, all right, you have two choices. You can either die, or you can go to this backwater ass place and get a Isekai that's not loyal to you.
I wouldn't say I'm not loyal to you, but I still have a previous job I'm trying to complete. So I'm still loyal to y'all, but I have to finish the job because I think he's still alive.
Well, you're talking about your previous fucking captain, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and that's who the hologram over there that you were talking about that I briefly remember hearing like some background noise while I had my head in the apartment. Because I knew it wasn't, but I thought maybe you were questioning one of them that was still alive. Oh, also,
Yeah, it was him.
Apparently, and I whisper it to you, we don't have a bounty hunter. From what I gleaned of them fucking in their little combat yelling at you and him, that he no longer could take a bounty in without someone trying to take it from him because he's got a bounty on his head too. And that's something he didn't share, and that's something that I probably should have known as well. So between the two of you, it's a rough day as far as it goes for being a councilwoman. So this is what we're gonna do.
I still fix the station, still make it good.
Right? I still pay you. I get you. But
yeah,
you're gonna have to earn this back. Just so you know. And don't get me wrong, I pet your left ear, or scratch behind your left ear. I'm like, don't get me wrong, scratch, 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 scratch. I still love you, but this hurts. Now, let's put this aside for now, and let's go slap awake some fucking tied up people.
Oh, yay. Maybe they can find us and tell us where she's at.
Right? I mean, we're just gonna corpse recycle everybody in here anyway, so.
Oh, yeah.
Let me go find a pitcher of water and a towel.
Ooh. Did I tell you about the lady that ran away and jumped on the ship?
No, I don't think I saw that person from where I was at.
You didn't technically see her jump on a ship, but you'd guess that she would have had to have landed in the other direction.
I mean, yeah. I have a feeling she maybe did.
So wait.
She ran out the door.
I know it's been at least 10 minutes, but past that, has it been more than 10 minutes?
Probably not much more now.
So what you're saying is there's a fucking crazy bitch with another ship outside?
Yeah.
Ah, fuck. Ha! We gotta get back to the ship.
Oh, crap. Yeah. We're good here then. Well, no. shoot him.
No, we can come back here unless she blows it up. I mean, you got what you needed, right? And I have all the treasure in my fucking storage place.
Yeah, minus
Alright.
some information, but yeah,
So-
sure. Let's go.
Death Arms, throw one of them over the back of this motorcycle. Actually, throw both of them over the back of this motorcycle. They're tied up. And fucking Ha and I drive as fast as we can on the motorcycle. Well, Ha flying. To get back to the ship. And then about that time, they start running after us. I need to make a
Okay,
fucking
well,
piloting check, don't I?
Yeah. Well, you guys are. I mean, you don't really have to make a piloting check. Well,
I'm
you
going
do
to.
have two people on the back. Yeah,
Right.
you're able
I'm
to
not.
navigate.
I guess I'm not doing full speed, but I'm going as fast as I can without having them bounce off.
Yeah, you're able to navigate. You have to. There's a couple of places where you have to take a little longer bit around. Veer a little bit instead of farther than you'd like to. But you might lose your cargo there.
Right.
But yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you all managed to get back to the ship.
Is it on fire?
No, it's not on fire.
Okay, then we use the biometric locks to get in. We tie them up even more in cargo bay. Well, Death Arms can tie them up even more in cargo bay. And then guard them. And we run up and fucking start fucking doing the checks for ships. I'm like, get into the pilot seat. We don't have time for me to fly.
Right.
Alright, so we do all that. Fucking we kick on sensors and we make a sensor check. Oh, I gotta go to the ship for that. I'm sorry. I didn't have it open. I got paranoid because I realized, yeah, guns.
Yep. So you guys
Sensors.
sensors of the computer check.
Okay, I
And
remember budget, so it's a +1, I think.
I think budget is either 0. Yeah,
Oh,
budget's
no, budget.
0.
Alright, so just a computers check.
Yeah.
Alright, are you better at computers than me? I have a +10.
Total, I got plus 13.
Alright, then this is your help check.
You okay. So you guys are gonna censor before you start trying to take off or anything?
Well,
Kib,
yeah, you're right.
you
Go ahead.
are unable. You guys are unable to locate the ship. Like she couldn't have got here. It's clear she couldn't have been surviving just from here, and but you can't even find so much as a wreckage for this ship.
Do we want to go like planetary half planet scan thing? Looks
Well,
like half
here's the
planet.
I would like to do a few scans, yes.
here's the thing. Kib, both of you are aware that stealth technology exists and that in various different levels, and that your sensors are not going to pick
Are
up
not
most
that
of
good.
that. Yeah, are not good enough to pick up any of the probably even the worst of the stealth modules. Like there is not a lot of ships there are some ships that use them, but a lot of ships just don't. Relying on their ability to just just fight their way through stuff. But you also know these are things that are kind of like somebody's paying for a solid package with that. Whatever it took to build their ship, they had to make room on their ship for that somehow. You're not even sure what that ship would even be. So, yeah. Are you guys trying to take off here?
With all of that in mind, do you think there was anything else we could have found there?
Not down there since we had these two. they could provide the answers I was thinking of.
Yeah, well, space is anywhere as good as here. Now the real question, though, assuming that they have a cloaking device or a ghost drive,
Most likely, yeah.
that takes away our fun of trying to find more stuff on the half a planet that still exists, full of frozen bodies. So let's hightail it out of here and hit the drift.
Okay.
So
Jump back
whoever's
over.
piloting, give me your piloting check.
Can I give him a help check?
You can absolutely take a captain action and try to give him a bonus from a captain action.
Damn it, now you gotta make me find the book.
It's a diplomacy check, 15 plus the tier of your ship, I think it is.
Okay, if it's diplomacy. Good job, buddy. Ah, that's a pretty good job, buddy.
Yeah. So, Kib, give me your check. You get the bonus on it. Okay.
I don't know what the bonus is, and I didn't put it in there. I
Plus
did
two.
+2, so that would make it a 19.
I'm gonna find out for sure because I'm in the right section. It's just been a while.
It will take you 12 days to get back to the station in Drift. In the meantime, you do have a couple of prisoners.
Yes, we can put it on autopilot. Kib, are you ready to try to get some answers? I have the water and the towel, and we have this bed that they're already laid out on and tied down to.
Yes.
We have been feeding them, at least for now. Half rations. Everything got quiet. Did I lose you?
Oh,
Okay. Did we lose Kib?
No kids distracting.
Okay.
so how do you want to approach this? You guys
Are they both
you?
human?
Um. I'm gonna say so. Sure.
Okay.
Just because it's easy.
So which one's the bigger of the two?
Yeah, they're both roughly the same size.
Fine. Which one's talking the most trash while they're tied to the bed?
Neither one of them say anything. Like they
Oh.
clearly are communicating with each other until you guys walk in the room, and then they just don't say anything. They just
Okay.
so
Fine. Kib, left or right?
So we're choosing which one gets to go in the corpse or the cycler first. All right.
No,
So,
we're choosing which one you're going to ask questions to first.
oh. Well, you took all my fun away. I was going to pick the left one to put in the recycler first if he doesn't tell me where she died.
Well,
give me an intimidation check if you're trying to intimidate an answer out of them.
and this is my help check for that because Kib's the one doing the interrogation this time. Wasn't that good, but it helps, I hope. Well, yours is better than mine. And I'm like, well, the corpse recycler is always an option, but just left or right.
I think one of them is like I think somewhere. I think I think the one on the right is like he's I think he's like, look, I didn't sign up for no corpse recycler, man. Well, I didn't sign up. Look, he says, he says, He says,
Then
we're just
tell
there
me,
on a contract.
where's Gloomy? What did you do with her?
What, the
All right.
Isekai? I didn't do
Yeah.
nothing with her. It was all that. It was all that. It was all our employer. She's got her somewhere.
And where is she stationed out of?
He goes. He's like, look. He goes. I her. Let's see, where is it? Says, look. It's the Sheeran woman. Her name is Clutchell. And she's the ward of some high muckety muck in the Helladis League, or the League of Helladis. I don't know who her father is exactly, but I get that he's rich and important. I mean, shit, the shuttle she had alone was kind of a bit kind of a thing. It was kind of expensive. He was like, he's like, he's like, I don't know where she put the isekai.
I don't know anything.
And he's like, well, he's already told you something anyway.
Well, yeah, but I can't read him. So at the moment, you know what I mean.
So you get a first round trip to the correctional sector because you're not providing useful information. Got it.
Look, I swear, I don't know where she took her. Somewhere in the the League of Helladis. If I had to take a guess, probably be in one of the more, the bigger cities. Like, I probably on. I think he's like Gombakar, the first planet, Gombakar. That's the capital planet. I'd start there. Like, that's all I know, man. Really. That, and she's after some kind of list. Some kind of list that everybody says you have. Well, I mean, not everybody. It's kind of a secret. I don't think I'm even supposed to really know, but she says it's her key, her ticket to something. And she does. I, she says so I don't know. He goes, there's
During all this, what is the other guy doing? I haven't actually tried to sense motive him. Can I?
um I mean, you can.
Like, you know, body language. Is he fucking like super pissed off that this dude is fucking snitching? Like that sort of thing.
I was going to say, I was going to turn to
Hey,
him and
that
be
was a
like,
better sense motive.
do you have any additional
That's sleight of hand.
information so you're
Wrong
not
one.
number two?
It's like, what'd you do to there were two
Okay.
more of us. What'd you do to them?
Oh, they died.
Mr. Sergeant.
They are going in the
You
corpse
killed.
recycler, I say.
He's like, wait, what? He goes, you killed. He says, well, fuck you, man. He goes and turns around. He kind of turns towards his buddy. He's like, fuck you too, man. They killed two of our guys. He's like, and dude's like, man, she paid us a lot, but she didn't pay us to go through a corpse recycle. Besides, those two guys were douchebags anyway. Come to think of it, you kind of are too. He goes, he's like, he goes, the only other thing I can tell you is your buddy he goes, that Death Arms guy, Guild's looking for him. They want him bad. Broke a contract. And I suppose now they're gonna be looking for me too. He goes,
They're not going to find you. You're going to be recycled. What
look,
are you
man,
worried about?
I told you everything I know. What are you gonna I told you everything I know. I come on, man. I mean, well, I may as well have told you nothing. He goes, what is this even for, man? All I'm doing is I'm just doing a job.
And your job was to get me, right? Well, you have me. And now I get to decide what happens to you.
And like, look, man, just give me a break, man. Look, you let me go, you'll never see me again. Shit, I gotta run from the guild anyway. He,
What? You're going to run like Death Arms did? and get a bounty on your head. Which would you rather have? A giant bounty on your head and that lady coming after you and shooting you in the face, or being put in a corpse recycler and becoming useful existence to help people?
Are you fucking insane? I'd rather have the chance to run and maybe survive than just get fed into a corpse recycler. What kind of a nut job are you?
A nut job.
Quite a bit, actually. Have you met the captain, my previous captain? He wasn't very
We're supposed to figure out what this thing is.
grand either, but hey, we've learned to adapt. And that's what we're doing. We're learning to adapt.
No.
Like,
So,
please, I'm begging you, man. I'm begging you. Just
do you
let me
have a
go.
coin? Do you have a coin?
No. Just stories.
Coin?
Yeah.
Who has coins? No, I don't have a coin.
Anybody got a coin? Let's flip for it. Heads, you go in the corpse recycler. Tails, we let you go.
Yes.
All right,
Man,
so
come
one
on,
is
man.
corpse recycler, tail is Legos.
You gotta do better than you gotta do me better than that. Come on, man. Come on. You'll never see me again.
Why haven't you rolled 1d2 yet, Scott? I mean, kid.
All right, your choice.
What?
Yeah. Option one it is. We got heads.
Yeah, corpse recycler.
All right. Thanks for your time, and I'll walk
And
out
he
the
just
room.
breaks down crying. He just breaks down crying. And his buddy looks at him and is like, "You are pathetic. Look at you. You would have never made it. Fucking at least face your death like a man, you fucking idiot." Yeah. And there's just pretty much more of that. A guy begging and crying because you broke him, and a
So
guy yelling
I
angrily at
assume
him
that if I'm
because you
going to
broke
try and gag them at this point so they'll shut up for a while,
him.
that I'm going to have to make a melee attack.
No, because they're fucking
Oh.
restrained. You have restraints on him. I mean, you can hit him, try to hit him if you want. He's still gonna try to avoid
No,
getting hit.
I mean,
But
do I still have stuff listed? Hang on. Let me look and see if I have anything in my backpack. No. They're in this hold. It'll be fine. We just shut the door.
okay,
Death Arms is
all right,
still there until he actually gets here guarding them. And
all
they
right.
are tied down to the best of our abilities.
By the time you come back, the guy that you broke swallowed his tongue.
Really?
Yeah.
That is an interesting ability. So,
He literally bit his tongue off and swallowed it because he was terrified you were gonna throw him into a corpse recycler while he was still alive.
well, now we move him to cold storage.
Okay.
All right.
They're only CR1, so you're not going to get much in the way of
I
progression.
know. 1 point is 1 point. So we did lose out on 2 other points because we didn't have time to take the other bodies with us. So that kind of sucks, but it's worth us being alive.
So you get back to the station, and getting back to the station, there's
How many
like
days was it? I'm sorry, I have to ask.
it was 12 days.
12 days. On the last day, no. No, we don't need to do it, so it's fine. So 12 days. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So you get back, and I change you guys back to
Oh,
the
we've
base
made it to the
screen.
last month of the year.
All right. So, all right. You do manage to feed the bounty hunter that's still alive, screaming
Hang on.
through the corpse recycler.
Kib, did we decide we wanted to talk to that guy and see if we had 12 days.
You already made a check to try to intimidate him and it didn't work.
Right, but
You can't
12
try
days.
again. He's already made up his mind. He has accepted the fact that you're going to kill him, whether he tells you anything or not. You just told his buddy that you were going to feed. His buddy squealed like a pig, and you told him you were going to feed him through the corpse recycler anyway. So he's got
Yeah.
no incentive to tell you shit. So he won't.
Okay. And this guy is an established bounty hunter, right?
No, these guys are not established. These are
Okay.
no-name assholes.
Okay, that's
Killing them
fine.
will
I mean,
get
a
you
first
no
level could still
reputation.
be a bounty hunter that's registered. That's what I meant.
No,
But anyway, that's fine. So
it gets you no fear, extra fear, or intimidation from anybody to kill this guy. Most people assume anybody who you're trying to scare probably assumes they could have killed him themselves.
yeah. All right. So I need to write that down in Lichdom. Edit. So now I'm in charge of those points. So once we get within range, I make the phone call. Well, no, not the phone call. I send transmission.
Well,
I don't know who's going to answer. So we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Ring, ring.
yeah, I think it's probably Crenville. Like, like, it's like you returned, boss.
Oh, wow. They have you working a shift in ops. That's hilarious.
I always work
Yeah,
shifts in
we're back.
ops.
Well, since the casino had taken most of your time, you hadn't been doing them nearly as often. Apparently, I hadn't paid attention. But either
Well, we've
way,
got management over there to deal with that now. I don't have to be directly involved all the time.
true enough. Either way, so how's it been? We should be there in about 20 minutes.
Well, I've got there's something you might want to there's something you might want to take a look at. But you can wait until you get docked.
Okay. Has the Order of Kavoy showed up yet?
Because, no, not yet. But I've got reports that some of their ships have been seen recently in some of the closer systems.
Okay.
Like,
I think those are the only two questions I have for you at the moment.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Fuck everything up and let us in.
yeah. They get you like they send you like the
We
whatever
know
to
the
get
docking
docked.
coordinates.
Yeah, they give you like all of the like fucking feed in and whatever. You guys manage to get docked. Um and I think when you get there, Crenville's already waiting. Yeah. He's got his hair sort of tied back, but he's got a few strands loose up front and what have you. And of course, his suit looks sort of a little unkempt as usual. But he's there and is waiting. He's like, "Welcome back, boss." He goes, "Chief engineer," and he sort of like nods to you, Kib.
Sup, kid?
What's up? How you doing? How's everything
Okay.
going? Never mind. I'll just stay. Never mind. I'll just stay here and be quiet.
No. I was gonna say we should probably get the cargo into the necro, or the recycler fairly quickly.
Oh yeah, we have bodies to put in the corpse recycler. They're willing.
Yes. Yeah, I think that like when you guys bring the guy that's still alive out, he just gives you like a death stare the whole thing and refuses to like engage in any fucking conversation. Like
Hmm.
he just stares. He just gives you like a death stare as he comes off, and like particularly you, Kib, like
You do
because
realize this is because of Gloomy, right? You are whatever. Bye.
he
Hmm.
just uh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Um, Death Arms. Gonna do what you do with Death Arms. Kib and I have stuff to talk about. And I look at Crinville and I'm like, all right, so what did you need to show me?
Well, he goes and he pulls
Let's go
out
to
a
Ops and we'll go to that
yeah.
office today.
I think
And we walk that way while he's talking.
I think maybe like he pulls out a data slate that's got like a lot of the stuff with like the day-to-day business stuff that you need. And he's like, this is what's been what he's like, these are the reports from the last couple weeks. These are the he goes, these are like the docking, the and da da da. He's like giving you all the stuff. He's like, we did have one other interesting thing. He goes, you'll want to look at the video. He says you'll want to look at this at the file labeled. Um, you'll want to look at the file. You'll want to look at that last file.
Hmm.
Um, the file labeled transient. Is you look at it.
Oh, well, I figured we'd wait till we got to Ops for
Oh, okay.
that. That way I could,
Oh, okay.
be in the
Yeah.
office.
Yeah. So when
I
you
assume that
finally, yeah,
there's,
yeah, you get
yeah,
to
well, it
ops
might not
then.
be top secret,
Right.
But anyway, we get there, and I go through the door and fucking sit down, and I open up the file on my thing and I
The
play.
file is like a security footage of somebody in the brig. The guy doesn't. The guy he's kind of like he's cuddled himself in the corner, and he's like, they're one and the same. They're all one and the same. They're many, but one and the same. Said it makes no sense. It just makes no sense. Like, it's a chorus. I don't. But it's one voice, and I don't know. And like, and he's like, this is all we've been able to get out of him. Threats don't work. Violence doesn't work.
Have you tried giving him a Twinkie?
Lying. Yeah, we've tried
Sorry,
feeding
not a
him.
Twinkie, a Twas. No, no. A Twas
We've
not.
tried
There we go.
we've tried just about everything at this point. Seems to be can figure out exactly what else to do with him, so we kind of kept him there for his own safety.
Where did you find
Whatever.
him?
Well, here's the thing. He goes, look at the file, look at the secondary file under transient ship.
Okay, I
And it
look at that.
says you'll notice there, and like Kib, like he's handed you a data slate as well with the same files on it, so you can look at it too. It says, from what we can gather, and you may want to do a secondary investigation into this. We've got we've got parts of the hull plates from the ship. It wasn't in great shape when we got it back. As a matter of fact, we were barely able to pick up the escape pod with him in it. The ship blew up almost as soon as it got within system. We sent some people out, and we've got a little bit of what remains of the ship. We've got the escape pod. From what we can tell, this guy's ship, it's been pretty far out. In fact, from what we've managed to gain from what sensory from what we've managed to gather from what little flight data we were able to bring up from the computers is this thing's been out a ways, like a long ways, like farther than anything that we've seen so far. We're venturing to guess quite possibly as far as the far end. But unfortunately, our technicians haven't been able to confirm this. It's just a theory at this point, and it seems like it's undergone a lot. Some sort of like, it's undergone weapons fire, clearly, of some sort. We figured we'd wait until you get back and put your expertise to it. I haven't had a chance to look at it personally. In fact, most of the theory comes from me. Just having a brief look at it. Our your tech, Lichdum's techs and our techs haven't really come up with a whole lot conclusive. And the guy, he's a bit, he's he's quite mad. Yeah, he he's there's no reaching him. You were muted.
I said, interesting. Well, we will definitely have to look into this. No, we'll save that for the other guys. All right, if you don't have anything else, Kib and I have a brief you later.
Oh, I did figure out the one last bit of business,
Okay.
syndicate business. And he
Oh,
kind of looks at you, waiting like it. It's he doesn't seem to be giving any indication of whether this is a matter for straight like just you and send him, or if like you, because you have some ability to include your inner circle in these kinds of things, but you also have the option. He's not gonna tell you one way or the other in some situation, unless it's a
well,
syndicate
due
only
to
business.
recent developments in mine and Kib's relationship, I look at Kib and I'm like, well, apparently you and I talking will have to wait a little bit. Do me a favor and go bother Defron out there. Or actually, go check on your engines. I'm sure everything's went to crap. We've been gone for a month and actually 5 weeks.
All right, yeah, sure. Okay. Scampers out the door, I guess.
Next station.
Click. I locked the door and I'm like, wasn't sure if you were trying to hint at me or not, so I figured I'd just play it safe this time. If at any point Kib or Death Arms or Kurad should not be here while you and I talk company business, ask about the Eoxian apples. And that will be your code word. Have we gotten any more Eoxian apples? And then I'll know that they need to shoe. So what's up?
I've been working on trying to find. I've been working on trying to find elements for distribution for you had been speaking a bit about, you and Dr. Kurad had been speaking a bit about drug production. I'd like your permission to start a search for individuals capable of helping with the distribution on that in the name of the syndicate. Because
In the
whether
name of the
Lichdom wants
syndicate.
to or not, whether Lichdom wants to or not, the syndicate would like to open some business selling drugs in the surrounding systems. Sort of one of the things we're fairly decent at, but I would like your permission to go ahead and get the operation underway officially. That is.
Well, we've been dabbling in it ourselves. Oh gosh, the Green Planet. Green Planet is off limits, at least for not Helmshire. Helm's Deep. No, that's fucking. What is the name of the town with our friends in it?
Himwell.
See, I knew it was some H word. But anyway, Himwell. We already struck a deal that we would not directly sell drugs to their community.
This is because in that case, perhaps outline. I will send you an outline of the drugs that the syndicate is wishing to put together to sell. Perhaps coordinate so that we are filling gaps, so that Lichdom and the syndicate are filling unique gaps within the market. I'll need to. I'll gather together. I will also gather together those operators capable of you. It'll be your job as the Duralium Systems current boss and the syndicate to dole out territories for those in distribution.
Well, it's a good thing there are a lot of systems surrounding us.
And it says, I've got a few names, a short list. It says,
Also, you know we're going to be in direct competition with those boys once they get started.
mm,
The
oh,
other space station.
yes, the Bent crew. Well, it is your territory. You have the right. You have the right to tell them how much to. It is your job to tell them what
Well,
territory that
and
they have.
honestly, that's how you get around him. Because if one of their dirtbags, and I say that politely, decides to sell drugs to Himwell, that's not directly related to me. And when I stated it, I did leave myself a little bit of leeway, so that sounds like your turnabout for Himwell. And I
No,
realized
by no
Himwell is only
means.
one small place, but yes, we will unfortunately end up having to have a meeting. I almost don't want to have it here, though. We'll think about that later. But I
Okay.
definitely want to look into this. And I pat the data slab. And there's a few other things, of course, that I have to get back into. But I, as a member of the group, is going to say, okay, you can start.
Buckle Syndicate. Mm.
Yes,
Because
Grimbuckle.
he says, on
The
your
Grimbuckle?
word, on your word on your word as a full member of the Grim Council and the boss for this territory, I'll see it done. All information, the names and lists of all operators will be on your desk as soon as I manage to compile it for your perusal and dispersal of territory. Any kind of.
Okay. I will definitely want to talk to you again later. But like I said, I just got back. You know how much is on me. I'm sure that Colobian will be here soon asking for days off. But with that, Kib, what have you been doing for this half hour that I've been talking?
So let's cut over to Kib. What is Kib doing in the meantime?
Well, she made a valid point. So, yeah, I'm going to go check to make sure everything on the station is working. Go into my little work area and evaluate. Hopefully, they didn't mess up too much stuff and check all that out for
So
30, 40 minutes out.
Yeah, everything seems to be working within operational safety standards for most places. If yours are a little tighter, then that's a thing. But like they're operating within what this tech's operational safety parameters are by the book. Whether you have it at a higher percentage of, is up to you. But um, like if you come back and you're like, this is within safety parameters, but we need it 3% more this or that or the other, that's totally you. Or if you just walk in and go, you've done an adequate job. Okay. I've got bigger concerns. I don't know what's your reaction to this?
It's like, huh? You're making it work the way it should be. Good. You can make it better, but hey, at least it works. And that's what I've been doing for years, just getting it to work. Yay, we're doing good.
I gotta go to my next class.
You guys are awesome.
I'll be back later to help you guys with my.
Yay.
Yay.
Cool.
All right, well, about 45 minutes later, I text you, and I'm like, hey, if you're done over there, I need to see you still in the ops office.
Oh yeah, they're doing great.
He's
Doing Brand. He does that text thing again where he does like elaborate on the whole engineering part of the station, and then he backtracks and be like, "Yep, everything's working great. I'll be there in a sec."
Thank you.
I go to the door and try to knock on the door.
It's open.
Oh, cool. What's up?
What's up? Go ahead and shut that door. I'm standing at the moment. I'm over by my desk.
Languages, but this is a lot.
We need to work on getting these to automatically shut. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it probably does, but I have it on manual.
All right. Well,
All right, go ahead and lock it.
Its power is greatest.
Okay.
The moon's peak.
Yeah. Here you
And
go.
I pick up some files on the desk and I straighten them up, making the loud tapping noise in the mostly silent office down, and I sigh real deep. And I'm like, so, Kurad's not going to be able to talk me out of it this time. Why don't you come over here and open that thing and let me see this book that everybody wants you for?
Okay. Well, hold on. He pulls out all the thing from inside the truck, sets it on the desk, walks over to the safe, opens it, pulls out the data shard, and sets it right next to it.
Hmm. All right, so
there's a data slab
We
that
can-
he pulls
Go
out of
ahead.
the safe, and then he's got like a holographic projector and a data chip that can be slotted into it that he pulls out from his pocket.
So, what's in this book, kid? Why are people after you in a way that makes me be worth more as collateral to keep them from killing me at this point? In fact, honestly, because of my background, I'm actually quite worried about what's in this book and assume at this point that my death is somehow going to be tied to you for a long period of my life, or a short period, depending on how fast it comes to fruition.
Well, okay. So, Captain Harlick,
Like,
Ehrlich. So he'd been working here a while, and he had got information on different people that could blackmail them with and stuff. And that's what's on this data shard. Is that compiled amount of data that Captain had.
I roll my eyes and facepalm. And is there anything I should know before I try to turn this like data slab on? Is there a password that you have to put in because you're the DNA it requires?
No,
Styles.
I don't think so.
Okay, I turn on the data slab.
I didn't put anything on top of it.
So make sure immediately bite.
so the data slab has a list of names. They're not names that you necessarily recognize, but they're names.
I was going to say, can I make a culture check to see if I know any of them?
You can make a culture check to see if you can get the gist of this stuff.
Okay. Well, that wasn't great, but at least it wasn't below that.
You're not entirely certain. Like, it seems like these are people that you know they from the amounts of money that Herlig has tallied that he thinks he can get for each that had tallied for the information for how much money he had, because he had it itemized what kind of crimes and scandals each one had on them, how much money he figured he could get from each one and on each thing, and a list goes down. And given the money that he's charging, it seems like these are people that might have a little bit of extra cash in their pocket because it's high enough that somebody working at a day to day isn't going to be able to afford it. And in any kind of relatively quick pattern that a pirate might be trying to
Oh
make
wait,
his money back. Um,
what's that dude's name? The one that almost killed Death, or the one that wants Death Arms dead.
Dravovok.
Is his name in here?
Captain Dravovok? No, his name
Mm-hmm.
is not in there.
Interesting.
Yeah, his name is not in there.
Okay.
But it is a
Uh,
but yeah, it seems like these are people who come from some kind of money from the numbers that he's charging. Um,
Kib,
so
this is gonna kill us all.
Maybe. Maybe.
remember,
So,
you still have the hollow projector and the data chip that goes to it.
right. So, yeah. What's on this? And I pointed to Hollow Stick.
I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet. It came out of the truck.
Oh, that was what was in the truck. And we had 12 days. So I would have talked to you about Gabby at the very least because you said she's cousins.
Gormy. Let me
Huh?
put that in. Gormy.
Gormy. I'm sorry. I did say Gabby. My apologies. All right. And I hope you wrote down the place where he said we should start checking. Um, so, do you want to watch this by yourself and decide if you want to tell me stuff, or do you want to watch it with?
You got a coin?
You have a coin.
Oh. Well, let's flip and see.
Heads is yes, tails is no.
Oh, look, we're going to watch it now. And I shoved the stick in there and press play.
Okay.
So it takes a minute for the image to materialize, but it does. And it is Joth Hurlig. Maybe this is maybe this. I don't know if this is the first time you've actually seen a picture of Joth Hurlig at this or not.
Probably the first 3D picture.
But it's Joth Hurlig standing and goes, "Well, I figured you were always the clever one, and I figured you'd probably be able to get past Gormy's trap. Made it this far, you've probably figured out quite well that this thing is a lot deeper than you might have suspected. Turns out what you got here, what I got is just the tip of the iceberg. So I thought I compiled this list thinking to myself, I was going to get myself a nice little blackmail list. Undercut how much it would take some of these people to buy their way out of trouble, buy a few thousand credits, maybe make a bit of a profit. Trouble is, well, they're all agents of the Amber Reef. And what's more, it's a little bit more complex than all of that. When I was looking all of this stuff up, when I was researching these people, I kept coming across Tarevia. And it kept coming up, coming up. Not an We've all heard of Tarevian nectar, and it's pretty rare, but not a lot of people seem to realize it's more common than it probably should be. And the more I started to think about it, the more it became a real, well, let's just say something that I can't quite explain. Tarevia seems to be a place that exists here and now, but we also know that it was destroyed thousands and thousands of years ago. Nobody knew where it was. Nobody knew anything about it, other than they had probably from my understanding, one of the most hedonistic, pleasure-centric cultures to have existed at least in their epoch, probably in several. It makes sense the Amber Wreath would have a passing interest in this, in Terevia, but why look for a dead planet? Well, was looking a bit harder, and I found what I believe to be Terevia. If you're watching this, you're there, or at least you've been there recently. Everything tells me that whatever happened there was a kind of event that could only happen by the will of some cosmic level entity. And this whole Terevia thing, and the Amber Wreath's looking at the Amber Wreath's interest in it, I don't know. This just feels wrong. It feels like something's wrong with this whole situation. I can't quite place my finger on it. And that elf woman, Netrine, and she offered to buy the list at a price that I thought was insultingly low at first. And then when I realized that the whole Terevia thing was connected to it, I realized that that wasn't just an insultingly low offer for basic intel. Her true intentions, if I had to take a guess, were to throw me off the scent of how important this is. Every one of the folks on that list, they have some kind, my guess is they got some kind of connection to Terevia. But to get the rest of it, you're going to want to go looking for a friend of mine. A friend of mine that actually works and lives in the Verilax Concordance. This is half elf by the name of Sothki Marantz. So I got some. He says he works for Symbolis Tech Secure as a security consultant. You'll probably want to make sure you've got. This is if you're planning on following this any further, figuring any more of this out, because as far as I'm concerned, well, this thing's going to be a big problem. It can either be a lot of profit, it can be a lot of death, it can be a little bit of both. Either way, unfortunately, you're smack dab in the middle of it right now, and you might be finding the only way out is through. I'd hired an archaeologist at some point, a xenoarchaeologist, to come to this planet, this Terevia, this that I believe is Terevia, confirm my suspicions, get a little bit more background on what's going on, but he never made it. Ship was attacked. I'm guessing it was the Savage Circle, and I'm guessing it was somebody that's been watching my movements and figuring there's profit to be had. In either case, he goes, either case, you're going to probably need to find somebody else that can confirm these suspicions, figure out what this is all about. He goes, he goes, either way, he says, either way, the list is yours. Do with whatever you're going to do with. But I'd recommend not selling it to anyone in the Amber Wreath, especially not that elf woman. Something stinks about the whole thing. I don't like it. He goes, so I hope he goes, good luck to you. And if I'm not dead, maybe I'll see you around. If I am dead, this is probably my last will and testament. He goes, he goes, either way, the list is yours. And so are the clues. And the hologram shuts off.
Right after it shuts off, Kid sits back. Like during the whole thing, he was intently listening and taking notes and whatever onto it, you know. And then when it cuts off, he kind of just sits back in the chair and leans back and it's like, Okay, now you know as much as I do.
Well, at least on this subject. I mean, somehow you're a better pilot than I am. Okay. Oh, I should be there. It's hilarious.
I'm a
Okay,
fast learner. It happens.
I know. You Sky are definitely fast learners. Well, there's a lot. We have our normal crazy person that I'm still waiting on information on. We have a new crazy person that we could go visit in the thing. And coordinates to somewhere so far out that this guy and his crew are probably the only people that have been out there in a really long time. And they got attacked.
And you can get, and you also have what remains of his escape pod, and
Yeah, we need
the
to
bits of
do that
his
whole bit
ship.
at least, I suppose.
So
Let's find our funny hats and do some detective work. Can we take 20 since we're not
you
necessarily completely busy?
you absolutely can.
Yeah.
It's going to take you a couple of days. Let's see, of researching. Let's see. Let's roll a 1d4 here. See how many days it takes you. It takes you a couple of days. It takes you 2 days
Nice. See,
of going
you
through it.
doubted yourself.
So what you glean from this information is that the weapons technology here is pretty equivalent to what you would see anywhere else. However, what you're gaining from this is that from what you're from like the hull plating and blast points and scoring, whatever attacked this ship was incredibly well coordinated and precise. Like you you like know the difference between a ragtag crew like Kib, maybe because of your experience with pirates. You know the difference between a ragtag crew that's sorts of gets the job done on grit and determination, and a crew that's just really well oiled and completely is totally in sync. This is beyond a well oiled and totally in sync crew as far as like the coordination level would have had to have gone. Because what this suggests, the panel is quite obviously directly from the ship's nav and nav and piloting housing, and whatever hit this thing hit it just precisely enough to knock it off to the point where whoever was the pilot of this ship had no control. And in fact, looking through looking through like what you've got from the computer modules and what you can find from data, flight recording and stuff, what had to have happened was the engines and piloting control went offline the moment this ship entered drift. Like the pilot was so desperate to get away and get into drift, they were willing to ignore a direct attack to try to get into drift fast enough to get away. Like there's there's a level of scary coordination and desperation. Whatever happened to this guy, you know, and whatever happened to this guy and his ship, it was beyond like it was so well oiled and coordinated that whoever it was had to have been amazing just to get the put the ship into drift before the controls went out.
But it was a goblin.
Um,
But
and you do find some some of the captain's log. Um, clearly
oh,
not the guy you have. Not the guy you have in there. But there is bits and pieces of him proclaiming that he was going to be the first ever to return, um, the first ever to go and return, and he was going to, and the next, and there's a great deal of confidence in it, like basic status reports. Then the next thing you get is like some recording of like they came out of they came out of nowhere, perfect formation, absolute beautiful sync on a level of starship combat that he's never seen. Like there's no there's something like there's no radio communication between them. We can't even detect a communication to suggest how they're coordinating. Like my first officer thinks then there's an explosion goes off. Psychics, perhaps? Yeah, I don't know. Some sort of like encoded signal, like on a level of technology we haven't ever encountered. We're not can't we can't quite be certain. We're not. I don't know. They operate almost like, and then there's like a very loud explosion, and the captain's and the captain, like you don't get any more of the captain's log. Like the next
Hmm.
thing you get is like the supplementary log from like the third officer that's like, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. We're all going to die. I've told the pilot, like we've killed the engines, we've killed the guns, we've killed everything. We've got to make drift. We've got to make drift. We don't stand a chance. They'll blow us up, and then you just hear all kinds of explosions, and then that's the last, sort of like recording you get.
Hmm. Kib,
Yes, ma'am.
I think it's time to go see the crazy person.
Oh, I do great with crazy people. This will be fun.
Okay. You're right. Maybe they'll respond better to you. Hey, buddy. This guy's here to help you. There's my +2 to your diplomacy, sir. May you roll a nat 20. Unless you're trying to bluff.
Yeah. All you get out of him is more of the same, like they were one, or there were many. And it didn't make any sense. No need to speak, or you couldn't
Hmm.
hear. There's nothing. Just like they knew. They knew, man. They knew. And how did they know? They couldn't have. How did they know? It was like it's clear. This
Dr.
guy's just
Oglehop,
he's gone.
Yeah,
up his
he
ghost.
needs psychiatric help because
Well, no,
look,
we don't have that
understand.
option. But do you know
No,
what we do have?
no. We have a way. Listen, I understand. It doesn't make sense. Most of the world doesn't make sense. Most of the
Right.
galaxy doesn't make sense. But hey,
But who do we have on board that doesn't make sense?
yeah, ooh,
Let's
right.
go up to level fucking 1.
Okay,
We leave the break,
we'll be
making
back.
sure that we lock the door behind him. Or behind us, and everything goes down the way it should. And we head to the soapbox of one Father Karef.
Yeah. When he sees you, he goes, oh, he goes, my congregants. He was, or well, not even congregants. He's like, ah, my fellow listeners. Here comes one who, here comes one who holds the temporal power, and until the cycle has come to an end. And
Mm.
he goes, is, he goes,
Father, it's good to
yes.
see you.
He goes, he goes,
Do you have a moment?
he goes, of course. He goes
Ah,
as far as any of us have a moment.
well, until the cycle ends, would you at least accompany us for a few moments? Let your esteemed colleagues over there know that you'll be back.
And it's like, he looks and he says, he goes, he turns around and looks at them. Goes, you may carry on without me. He says, he goes, but seek penitence with your gods. Seek penitence with the divine, for there is no stopping. There is no stopping when the eye of the crypt opens. There is no stopping it. And he he goes he goes he goes. What signs of the coming doom have you for me today?
We have
Actually-
somebody that's experienced it, so you're gonna come talk to him.
Oh, Kib. That's exactly what's going on, Father. I believe I have something that will make you even happier in your psychotic state, as I like to call it. But, yes, speak to this man. See if you can make sense of his prophecies.
He goes. He goes. He goes. I will speak to him and see what I may glean.
Here,
And I think
I
like
brought you a priest.
yeah. He goes. He goes. I will. He says I will attempt to speak with him if you will give me the time. I will see if I can glean anything from him.
Okay. It's not like I don't have camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I realize that there are things that, miss. But
After
we
yeah,
lock
I
him
think
in.
yeah.
Haha, I've succeeded. I got him in the brig. Ha 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 ha. No,
You
I'm
could
just
have put
kidding.
him in the brig at any time. He would have never resisted. Um, but yeah, there he like after a few hours, he's like goes, this one has not seen the end of the cycle. This one has not seen what the prophecy tells us. This one has seen dangers mm, profound, but not the doom of the but not the doom of the Vestian prophecies. Some other some other temporal danger that we find that he has found. Something in the far reaches. It would seem. There's he says there's nothing more that I can get out of him other than the terror that he has seen.
Mm,
But it does not seem to be related to the Vestian prophecies. Something probably something that is unrelated.
okay.
It's not prophecy he speaks of, simply horrors that he's seen out in the depths of space he's been to.
Okay. That's good to know. Well, thank you for your help.
Does he have a weak mind? Because a lot of us have seen some weird crap in space. We're all fine.
Eh,
And it's like,
If he's been that far out, there are things that haven't been disturbed in an incredibly long time. Disturbed. Out of character, it sounds very Borg. In character, I don't know. It sounds worse than, the Swarm.
he goes,
Or worse. It could have been the Swarm. And now the Swarm's been alerted to. Well, that is a fucking bonus. Holy crap, I never thought being in this backwater system would save my ass from something. The Swarm can only come in little ships too. But anyway, hopefully it's not that. Anyway, Father, thank you again. Damn it. We go back to the office.
oh,
I have Kib secure everything that I was holding on to for that entire bit. And then, I don't know, Kib. What do you think? We have a couple of people that want us to deal with the Amber Reese, and rather than deal with that, we deal with Bettina Klemlin because she kind of liked us. And I think it was 2 episodes ago, I was like, we should
Like,
send her a note.
I don't think very many people
Hang on.
like me. I'm not very good with people.
Say that one more time.
I don't know if she liked you. I don't know if she liked me. What she's gonna like.
Eh. I remember liking it. So. Okay, so crazy point in space where we could die. My
I mean,
dude's
I
still
got
on
2
deck.
points where I could die. You go find the half elf, or you go find the other person that has
Gormy.
Gloomy, Gormy.
Okay, so going to look for Gormy is also on the table. The evil player inside of me just went, "Hey, there's only 2 of us tonight, so our average party level is 5. Let's upgrade this bitch before anybody comes back." But I know that's how it doesn't work. We need to be slightly more powerful for some of this. Because, yeah, if we review the tapes from the cameras inside the brick.
Yeah. Seems like it seems like Father Karef gave it an honest effort to figure out what's going on with the dude and pretty much came to the conclusions he came up with. It didn't look
Well,
like
no, I didn't actually think the father was lying necessarily.
right,
I just wanted to see if we gleaned anything from seeing it from that third person point of view that we were supposed to be denied. Okay.
just no,
And we
it's
have your thing. How much is the bounty, you think, on Death Arms?
Well, if what you say is he pissed off a lot of people, probably.
Think it's more than yours?
Oh no, nowhere
Okay.
close. I have information. He just pissed off people. It's
Yes, information.
I have
Was the elf
value.
woman's name in that book?
what?
The elf woman? The Amber Wreath chick?
Nope, her name is not in the book.
What about elves in general?
Well, I mean, there are a couple of names that seem elvish, but you know,
It's a new frontier. I got you. Um, hmm. Well, I know you want to find out more about what happened to your captain dude now, and that's good. You really need to learn that you can share with me. All right. I know you have to have some secrets because everybody has a few, but I'm not ready to die for you. So if I have the option, I'd like it like a heads up so that I don't have to die for you on accident.
Well, I would intentionally push you. I've assessed y'all's skill level. I, I saw y'all could handle what we were possibly going into with rather ease. It could have been worse.
Hmm. Yeah, I haven't died yet, so I guess that's a bonus.
Exactly. We learned information and we didn't die. So that's I made it through another day. That's the way I operate, I guess.
All right, so my plate had stayed empty for so long.
so
Let me see. Your Gourmet is high up on there. Finding out information on the Amber Wreath is up there now. Do we know where Bettina Cleveland lives?
it wouldn't be too hard to get her to get the coordinates for her planet. There are traders and that come through here
Let's
that
see
sell.
if her coordinates line up with some of the other places we're going to, like a multi-stop or something.
Um, let me see. Where did I know I had some. I know I had her. No, I don't think she actually. Oh no, no, she's actually.
In the same system as the other
Nope.
space station.
Nope. She's actually in a. She's actually in a. I didn't actually. Oh, she's in the Vocal system.
Okay. Is that on the bad side of the war?
The Vocal system is politically independent because, as far as you know, the Kremlin, uh, Kremlin Industries is really the only place that has much out there on the planet of Kenessa.
Hmm.
And she exports rare metals.
Oh,
Um,
nice. We can get some
so,
beryllium.
so she's probably like, so it's probably a good bet that both sides, Guerin and the fucking Velquin, would probably want to make deals with her. I mean,
I
most
just have two
anybody
questions
who's
to
in flight
Crinville.
probably would. Mm.
Like, what information do we have on the political structure of this system? Is there anyone that we're already doing business with? All of that.
The Vocal system? And the Vocal system, they're really, really the only place we know of there right now is Kenessa, which is under Blatina Klemlin's control.
Yes, that's what we're
They're,
actually wanting information on, is because we're going to go see Bettina, and we just want,
unfortunately,
or
what
if
we
we had
know,
any agents, or
and we don't have any agents there. She runs a pretty tight ship. Most people, she runs a pretty tight operation.
Okay.
One of the part of the reason that that the Grimbuckle Syndicate's always been wary of her is she tends to have important friends and a certain amount of influence. It's not necessarily how much she can hurt you herself, but how much people who like her can hurt you. Not that she can't hurt you too. Just it's more about the people it's well connected. And she owes a lot of that to the fact that her mining company exports rare metals, not just in the Kenessa system not just in the Vocal system, but other places as well. Independent shell corporations, subsidiaries, incredibly, incredibly wealthy, very businesslike, very cutthroat. Uh, Generally speaking, we've not done business with her simply because if it came right down to it and there was a need to break any kind of contract with her or cross paths, it'd just be really expensive to wage some kind of conflict with Clemlin. And some among the syndicate would say we could win that one. Some would say we'd lose it, but everyone knows it'd be more expensive than it'd be worth for either side.
Hmm. Hmm. And let's see. So it's been another 2 months. I still assume that Silver Soul has not got enough of a network set up here because we still haven't made it to where he can have an office front.
Pretty much. And
Just confirming,
you do
because I don't
have,
want to talk to people that I
and
don't need to. Kip,
you do
can you
have
think of anything?
Um, I, not really. My brain's been rather occupied with stuff that I've been feeling. Yeah, I don't have a clue.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Alright.
There's always you say we need to be more powerful to do other stuff, so maybe we go find random things to kill. I don't know. Sounds like fun.
Well,
You also, by the way, have like the full proposal for a sort of merchants council that was
yes.
submitted for through Silver Soul to Crenville, and Crenville passed on to you.
The best part is I don't have to care about that right now because I'm not here to do that.
Well,
In fact, I'm going to be like, I don't like it at all. But I haven't even looked at it, so maybe I'll give it a chance.
well,
But we're not going to be able to get anything out of that guy. And I mean, Gormy is a major piece. I understand that. Kid.
well, he did
I
tell
don't
you.
know. She's a
So,
major piece. I just kind of want her back.
so
If
just to
she's still alive.
so just to review for you here, what you learned here from the guy that killed himself rather than be fed through a corpse recycle alive. Um, you know that the cultist whose name is, where did I put that? Am I on the right page? I'm not on the right page. Well, I'm really not on the right. There we go. The Sheeran woman, the hired the bounty hunters was named Clutchell, and is the sort of ward of somebody rich and important in the League of Helades. Uh, the guy theorized that you might start in Gomba, the capital planet of Gombacor. Um, you know that Captain Hurlig's contact, Sothki Marins, is in the Verilax Concordance working for as a security consultant for Symbolicis Tech. And you know that the guild probably doesn't see you as a sovereign power. Um, and these are just all things you learn from your encounter with the bounty hunter and fallout from that. And of course, you know that from Joth Hurlig that the amber wreath is all tied up in this list, and that you know everyone on that list could have paid to have all those crimes and scandals erased. He thought he was going to make money just offering them a little bit less charging them a little bit less money to make it all go away for them, but didn't realize at the time he was stumbling into something bigger, and that this is all wrapped in something about Terivia. And you know that you've got a guy who's absolutely batshit bonkers from some horrors he's seen on the far end of the galaxy. That and like whatever attacked him was well coordinated.
At
And
least they were in the cube.
so, um, so you've got a couple of different places you can go. You can go to you've got a few different options of places to go. If you want to go looking for Gormy, you're probably going to want to start in the Helades, the League of Helades. If you want to follow Joth Hurlig's contact, you're going to the Verilax Concordance. If you want to try to figure out what happened to the crazy guy in your brig, you're going to have a long, long, long journey to figure out to go in the direction he was. If you want to go to meet with, try to talk to Bettina Klimlin and get some information from her. That's the Vocal system. the planet of Kenessa. So before you make any major decisions here,
Roll initiative. Oh shit!
you do get you do get a an incoming transmission. How long has it been since you've seen the Order of Kavoy?
4 months.
Okay. Excellent.
Technically, like 4 months and 3 days.
So you do get a all right down. You do get a you do get a communication like there from like you get a report from somebody down in ops working docking controls like Councilwoman, I hate to disturb you, but you said to let you know if the Order of Kavoy returned.
Oh,
They're
yay.
docking. They're docking now.
Hmm.
And Captain Prev Brelis was asking to speak to you.
Oh, definitely. Let's go to our other offices.
All right.
Kid, why don't you come with me? This should be interesting. Or perhaps we'll learn nothing.
All right.
All
So we
right,
have
one
the
more
other
thing on the
office.
plate. That'll be all right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's added to the plate. I don't know. Let's go.
Thump, 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 thump.
You
We're
guys
there.
go into your other office. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. And so when you have him meet you there, like when he shows up, when he shows up, um, like he looks and he's sort of like escorted in. Um, he looks slightly agitated, and he's kind of looks around the room, make sure like who all's in there. He's like,
Oh,
you know, um, he waits for the door to
Efron,
close.
go guard the front door.
Waits for the door to close. He says, "Councilwoman, uh, Chief Engineer Kibb says I went to the I went to the board. I went to the to my higher ups. I went to the generals and went to ask a little bit about this. Father Karef asked questions. It I've never had them delay my admittance into records before. I wasn't. I didn't think anything of it at first. But when I said something about when I mentioned what your father Karef said about the Order of Kavoy and its shadows, when I said the words "and its shadows," I'm not I'm not usually one to like social discourse is not my strong point, but something felt off about it. One of my one of my mentors asked to meet with me. Unfortunately, and I agreed to the meeting, but unfortunately he was shipped out for a highly classified mission about a day before our meeting. Didn't really find a whole lot in the libraries, in the records, in the official records, but I did find I did find an individual or two that were willing to talk to me. Uh, One of them said something very interesting. It was something that has seemed to. Well, I'm not sure how much. I'm not sure how relevant this is, but He said something about the order found some piece of old ancient magitech floating in space. They it's in the R&D. They're trying to decode it, but there's nothing really said about it in the official roles and reports. My understanding is that it's and my friends who were my friend who spoke to me about it. Well, the next time I talked to him, he said he had received new orders, um, and that he had received a debriefing and orders. Um, he's under confidentiality at this point. I'm unable to get a whole lot of information, but I've lived my life by the word and the the word of the order. I believe in the goals and the dictates and defend the universe from those that give the undead a bad name. But I don't think they were as forthcoming about what they may or may not know. I mean, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they are launching, that there is maybe perhaps some investigation that I'm not privy to. I mean, I'm not part of the intelligence division at all. I'm more rank and file, um, but I've usually gotten a little bit straighter answers than what I was given. I'm hoping that it's just a matter of an open investigation and they can't comment on it until they've reached determination reached some sort of determination as to or results. But it does me but I did figure but I'm sorry I can't get you more information at this time. I feel like an asshole. I was gone this whole time and wasn't able to turn up a whole lot. I'll keep looking, but he goes, I'll keep looking. And I don't believe for a second, that the Order of Kavoy is any kind of traitors or deceivers. And he says, he kind of shrugs. He says, I'm really sorry I couldn't bring back more than that. Just some
Hmm.
vague notions that that the order hasn't revealed certain information yet. At least not to me anyway. I think it's when I said something about shadows that that changed everything in the room.
Hmm. Well, it does make him a little more cryptic, doesn't it?
Make him a little more what?
A little more cryptic, doesn't it?
Mm, he goes, he goes, he goes, I'm pretty sure, he goes, I don't know what I don't know what your father Karef's deal is. But in the beginning, he says, but whatever it is, he says, I'm sure he says, I'm sure there's something bigger going on.
Hmm. It
Bigger
does
than
indeed
just this
sound like
guy.
it. Well, I'm glad you finally made it back, friend.
Like, he's like,
I had started to worry it'd been long enough.
it took a while, and I got a bit of a runaround. He goes, he goes, says, I'll keep looking, but he says, I'll keep looking, but they did tell me to expect orders. They're gearing up for some sort of. There are reports that there is possibly some element of the corpse fleet in the frontier. Uh, so I imagine there's a chance I'll be deployed in the conflict. I'll let you know if I find anything more.
Well, remember, consider the support in a storm if you need to.
Because I appreciate it. So I imagine we'll stay for a few days, and then we've got to head on.
That was exactly what I was about to say. And so I'll be here for a few more days, and then we have to. But hopefully, I'll see you soon. Until then, thank you.
And he goes, wish I could be more help. And he goes, hmm. And he goes, I imagine you have plenty of things to get back to. You have plenty of work to do. Says, as do I. He goes, hey, he goes, I'll let you. He goes, you have a good day.
Bye bye.
Yeah. He excuses himself.
Excuse me. Oh, wait, this is my office. Ha 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 ha. Well, isn't that interesting, kid? Father
Well,
caressed a smile.
I found it interesting. They found something in the. They found something. That was the
Oh,
part
yeah.
that stuck out to me.
Oh, do you want to go and try and rob a order that we're friends with? Is that what you're saying?
No, I just found it interesting. They found something, and then we're all like, "Oh, we're not going to talk about it." So they found something powerful. Ooh, what if the something they found powerful was something that hit that ship? I don't know. I'm just rambling on. Anyway, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so
Whoa.
the people on this ship or on this station, they're doing pretty good at making sure that things are running well when we're not here. So I don't know. That's just a pretty good idea. Like when I went and checked the engineering thing, they had that stuff going adequately enough, I guess, and it could be better. Anything could always be better, but I'm rambling again. My bad.
You're good. No, I was thinking we have those build points that we're not using currently. And we have some stuff that we can sell to get some money, which would provide for better equipment. I mean, I realize we just upgraded your armor, but I think we need to get a different gun. Because both the guns he has work great, but both are inefficient in their own ways. One of them is a merciful weapon, so we can torture people before we feed them to the corpse recycler, apparently. And then, though we really didn't torture, I mean, that guy killed himself. And then I had a point.
So where can we go to find upgrades for him?
So we can only use 5 points to help upgrade the ship, and I don't honestly remember off the top of my head.
You don't remember what?
What I can actually do with 5 points before we actually go somewhere else.
Oh, yeah, and that's the other thing. You can spend some of those build points to find some cargo to ship.
Right, but we'd have to ship the cargo.
Yeah, true.
Oh, wow. All right. 5 points. And we have a weapon. 5 points isn't enough for any armor. Ooh. One moment. So, Kib,
Yo, what's up?
5 points just doesn't really do that much. Reinforced bulkheads of MK1 would give us a little bit of fortification. But only 10%. And that would leave us with 1 point. We already have biometric locks. We have budget. Says that we upgraded to basic. That's only 3 points.
What about sensors? How much would be?
That was what I was talking about. Was basic short range sensors. That would bump us 1 from budget short range to basic short range. But let's see. Basic medium range is 5 points exactly. So we could bump the sensors. We have a decent weapon.
I mean, it would be useful to know, barring the last expedition where I just drove in, if we actually scanned the planets before we got there, we had a better quality sensor to do that. And not just fly down blindly and we could know what we're getting into.
Yeah. Well, part of that was looking back at it now and having had some time to think. I mean, it took us 12 days to get back. We should have scanned it at the very least for technological stuff and any carbon-based life forms, because since most of the planet was dead, they would have stuck out like sore thumbs, and we would have at least known that there were more than one person there, if not knowing all of them were there. But you also thought your captain was there. I realize that now.
Yes. And that was the whole basis of me just flying in. If we're going to be completely honest here, yeah, I just kind of drove
excited.
in
You thought he was
blindly.
there. Yeah. But yeah, we can use more common sense when we approach planets from this point on if we want. Unless they're well established. And then we're like, oh yeah, there's already a map. I can get here by taking 23rd and Vine. But armor. What armor do we have on the ship already? Shuttle. Sorry, boys and girls, if you're listening. We're trying to be a little bit safer when we run around without shields. Oh, it has no armor. Ooh. So armor would cost 4 points, and that would take us to MK2 armor. But we have an MK2 mono node. Which is 4 points, which would actually, we'd be taking it out, so that would make 4 more points for a total of 9. Replacing it with a computer, so let's go MK2. Try. Oh, nope, that's way too expensive. Wait. Yeah, that's not much of an upgrade either. We could get an MK2 dual nodes, have 2+2s instead of 1. Hmm. Single basic budget. Can't afford a new drift engine. What's that? Oh, wow. Damn it, Chris. Security. It looks like giving us better sensors is probably our best bet. Unless you want to add a secondary weapon for just in case. But once again... Oh, wait! I thought of something. Hang on, kid. What's up here?
Well, no, I was half thinking if we know what we're getting into, do
That
we
sucks. Okay.
need shield?
Well, I remember the emergency accelerator, honestly, and it's not enough. So yeah, having better sensors so we can see stuff further away seems to be the best bet. But they're your build points, so I have to have your permission.
Yeah, if we go tactically in, it looks like we're going to get blown out of the sky, then we run away. So, yeah, sensors would work. Let's go with that.
All right, so apparently we can get budget long range, but I think basic medium range is still better. It's 5 points exactly. But all right, we can move on from this. We're upgrading the sensors with those 5 build points to basic medium range.
So that leaves us with what? 7?
Yeah,
5
7
more.
points to go look for cargo and all of that.
Yeah. So, what is the next step of what we do, though? We have so much on the plate. Where do we want to go? That's the question of the hour.
So
What? I don't want to say what's the highest priority. What do we feel like would be the most fun for the next thing to do? Because, your priority, my priority, and the rankings crazy and weird.
let's
Gets
see
a
if
little
we
bit
can
weird.
use our influence to look for cargo that would specifically appeal to Bettina. That way we have a double destination. And after we talk with Bettina, we can go look for your cousins. How's that sound? But I'm definitely going to want a physician to come with us, just in case. Stares
Right.
blankly at the sky where God should be.
What happened to what's his name? He disappeared.
Right, I think he was drunk, but we'll worry about that later. So, look for cargo, which, do I still have that page open? Galactic trade rules. I do. Find cargo, that's what we're looking for. Jester, you're muted.
You're gonna have to tell me where you're gonna go looking for cargo. You don't have the shopping stuff set up yet, so you can't look for cargo on the station. You have to go somewhere to find it.
Can I just ask around?
Like,
You
because
can
we're
ask
trying to
for
get specific.
You
Okay.
said the captain that everybody loves is on board, right?
Percival Worthy?
Yeah.
No, Prella's
Okay.
Brella's on board. I'm trying to think, is Tawi around?
It's up to you.
Maybe, I don't know.
All
Captain
right.
Fred is definitely there because he's waiting for you to pay him some money.
Thought we already took care of that.
No, because then you realize you have all of it tied up in build points, not money.
Ooh. Wait a minute. We still have random treasure.
Yes, you have treasure you can decide to sell or keep. You actually
Right.
probably still have plenty of stuff in your inventory that you've never dealt with.
Right. But what was that thing that was like 4,000 credits? It was
So,
like a jeweled stopper. Wasn't that it?
so hold on. So what you've got, and it's under. Look for the. Oh,
Ah.
let me do something here.
Okay. Durellian Frontier.
It'll be on the tablet. It'll be in the handout listed loot 4.
Apparently, I need to
FOR.
reload.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
Thought I hit the show players button.
Apparently, you did not.
There you go. Well, now I put it in your book specifically through edit mode. So it should show up there in a minute.
Loot 4. Okay.
That's what you have.
Hmm.
Now, is that one a
You know-
1,000 credits each, or the whole
No,
volume?
for the whole system.
Yeah,
For the
22
whole set.
volume.
Yeah, it's for the whole set.
All right. So,
Okay.
first of all,
There is a reference
make a copy.
if you actually look at them, there is a reference to there is a more expensive box set of these that where you like these you can only play them in observer mode, but there's a more expensive director's box set where you actually can actually play observer or editor and edit what scenes you want to put together with the hollow characters involved and the settings involved and run different scenarios and stuff. But this is not that one. This is just the observer only version where you just watch what's there.
Right. It's regular. It's not integrated. I got you. All right. So, we almost could probably get away with giving them that. But, Kip, make a copy.
Okay.
Well, you're going to want to put it into your infosphere.
Oh.
And that way,
Specifically?
there's a copy. We can still sell this copy and have a copy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because we're going to sell the hard copy. We'll have a digital copy after you make one. Now, the infosphere disabled datapad dealing with a descent into madness is worth the most money. So honestly, we have cargo that's worth moving. Where did you go to fucking get rid of the last cargo? The other books.
Went to the League of Helades.
That sounds like a fun place. Let's start there.
Well, that actually also doubles up at one of the places because that's your best lead on trying to find Gormy is because that gal
Oh,
that
well,
hired
see, look how that
that
worked out, kid.
lady that hired the bounty hunters that is from there.
Try and be praised. All right, so I mean, what is 12 build points worth as far as being a credit value? That's the problem.
Well, I don't know that it necessarily lists it because it's not necessarily necessarily meant to operate that way.
And I realize that, but because we owe them half, that's what makes it hard. I mean, I don't want to give them 6 build points. So, God. I still think we can get away with giving them the 2,000 credits, Kip. I mean, I could try to make some rolls and just piss them off so they shoot a bunch of holes in here. But 2,000 credits is a nice haul. And, we'll be like, oh, some of the books were moldy.
That was more than I was going to give him. I was going to give him 1,000. Be like, this is half. We only got 2,000 total. But hey,
All right, so like I said, because we don't actually have a monetary value for what we got, so to speak, it makes it harder for this deal to go down. Otherwise, yeah, we made a bunch of money from finding that stuff in the car we couldn't take with us. Oh, and we can sell that motorcycle. Or we could keep the motorcycle. That's not important at the moment.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to keep it.
Let's meet us at Bort's. Little lightning dragon guy whose name eludes me.
Infrex?
Yes. Unless he's lost out to one of his other men. Did he fail to bring the dragon in my absence?
He still got it. He's still the captain.
Right, you like that?
He's I think he shows up with his group of rowdy kobolds. And it's like, hey, you got money for me?
I give him the credit stick.
The one with just 2,000 on it.
Yes.
He's like, he eyeballs a 2,000. Is that it? Really?
Yeah, some of the books were moldy. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not the best diplomat. That's why I owe you this much money.
So, go ahead and give me a roll here.
All right, let me get my player back up.
Like, we tried to get more out of it, but they weren't going for it because it was like that cargo had been sitting for a while. So it had built up bacteria in the pages, and it required them paying more to restore pages for effective use. I'm going to do a help on whatever role you're doing, is what I'm trying to do.
Is your bluff higher than your diplomacy, or do you have no ranks in either?
We got 3 ranks in bluff. In diplomacy, I have none.
Okay, so bluff. Good luck. It's not showing me.
I was like,
Well, that's not bad. I mean, it's not great. And I'm doing this one. Oh, well, that's better.
where is he?
I mean, if it's average, that's, only a -2.
I'm just
But it's
trying to
not a
look at.
-5. Sorry.
I'm just trying to find the notes I have on Captain Correct. Circle, boy. Yeah. Okay. I think he's like, yeah. I think he looks at it. He bites the credit. Looks at it, bites the credit chip suspiciously. Not hard or anything, but just kind of. And he goes, and he's like, he throws his arms up and he goes, he, analog data transfer material. Who even wants that shit anymore? All right. And he shrugs his shoulders and he goes,
Like, well, you can't get a
he's
virus
like,
from paper.
he's like, I don't know. I know of a couple of guys that got paper cuts and they in the wrong place and never mind. And he's like, he's like,
I laugh
Hey,
out loud at
I
that.
downloaded some things and copied some things that people might be interested in. If you
he's
want to
like,
buy some viewing ship, that'll cost.
he's
Pretty
like,
good.
Would you like to subscribe to my channel?
I think he's like, I think we're about to get back out on it. About to get back out there. Bigger scores to be had. And he's like, besides, if I keep them around here much longer, and he points over at his group that are sitting down at one of the back tables trying to play a game of cannons and black holes. They'll lose all their money. He goes, he goes, and then they'll be fighting the entire every time we take even the tiniest scrap of cargo over who gets what. Like they don't remember the share system or something. He's like, he's like, he's like, he goes, well, I hope next time business is a little bit more profitable. And he kind of, he kind of looks over or whistles at his guys like, hey, come on, you're just gonna lose anyway, you jackasses. Like fucking,
That's because he rolled a bad. Look, I can see. See, he's got bad cards.
he's like, he's always got bad cards. That guy doesn't even know how to play. He's like,
He's
hey,
better than I am.
he kind of sure.
I'd lose to him.
He's like, yeah, maybe you should get into a game with him and he'll stop belly aching. Like, and about his losses. And I think is the it like I think is you're kind of like um as he kind of gathers his people out and what have you. There's like a to gather his people. Like there is a rather like I don't know, something of a loud entrance even for aborts. There's a you kind of look over. There's a dwarf woman standing there cursing and sputtering. She's like, she's like, what did I tell you? He says, fucking elves are pansies. They can't hold their liquor. He just kicks the guy laying on the floor in front of the door. He goes, he goes, hear that? All of you elves in here, you're a bunch of fucking pansies. Now where's the bitch that owns this place? And that's where we close off. We- um, and go ahead and send me or well, actually, go ahead and
I was
start
gonna say.
sign-offs. There's really no point in player's
Wait, wait,
choice when
wait,
there's
wait.
only two of
Hey,
us,
Scott.
too, but
Or I'm sorry, Kim. Are you gonna vote for me?
Oh
I'm gonna vote for
yeah.
you. All right,
Okay.
Loki
uh,
25.
there's, re-
All right.
there, there's really no point there. But I will give you 100 XP just for getting at 200 XP for getting the information out of out of the bounty hunter and for investigating for your work investigating the crashed ship or the ship of the crazy dude. But go ahead and start sign-offs.
Hi. Tonight I played David the Gnome. I was having some fun. And we didn't actually have to torture anyone. We just threatened them and then they killed themselves. Now, we did kill some people, but that's because technically we're bad guys. But we try to, maintain the fact that we live in a tin can in the middle of nowhere that doesn't have any shields. So we have to be nice to more people than we'd like to be. Tonight, some information that I did not know in game was finally revealed to me, so I know stuff and I feel like I'm part of it. Other than that, this is the only thing, unfortunately, I get to play in right now, but that could change in the future. There's always hope. With that said, on to Psychopathic, otherwise known as Kib.
Yeah, I'm Kib, and I try to have plans, but it went a different route, so we're good with that. That works. I don't know. I didn't know how it was going to go. I've been contemplating it all week and trying to plan and figure out what to say. And it's like, well, we show up, we'll figure it out. We'll just roll with it. So we rolled with it, and that was fun.
Right?
I love this character. It's easy.
And since we already got that out of the way earlier, because there's only two of us tonight, on to the one and only Just a King.
Hello, everybody. Well, I guess you've been listening to me this whole time. No need for me to say hello. I am the Just a King Zerat, and man, I'm telling you, I like it when I really like it when the players are interested in the things I'm putting in front of them. I enjoy that. And I'm having a great deal of fun with the back and forth with the whole Joth Hurlig thing and what have you. But with that said, this is all I'm in right now. Freewheel Station. You can catch me here on Monday nights. We are looking at the possibility of changing nights here in a few weeks, but that's a few weeks off. We'll make official announcements as we get closer to that. You can catch me here. And it's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't think I have really anything else at this point. So let's bring out the dragon and get out of here.
Bring out the
Bring
dragon!
out the
Bring out the
dragon!
dragon.